Eggs are widely recognized as a valuable part of a balanced diet, particularly for older adults. They provide high-quality protein, essential vitamins such as B12 and D, and important minerals that support muscle maintenance and metabolic health. However, after the age of 60, changes in digestion, metabolism, and nutrient absorption make it increasingly important to examine not only what foods are consumed, but how they are combined. Many seniors are unaware that certain common food pairings with eggs may have unintended health effects. When eaten together with specific ingredients, eggs can become less effective nutritionally or even contribute to elevated blood pressure, impaired calcium absorption, or increased blood sugar instability. These effects may not be immediately noticeable, but over time, they can influence cardiovascular, metabolic, and skeletal health. The goal of this video is not to discourage egg consumption, but to provide evidence-based guidance on which combinations may work against your health goals, especially in older age. We'll look at 3 specific categories of foods that, when regularly paired with eggs, can interfere with your body's ability to process nutrients efficiently and maintain balance. By understanding how these food interactions work, older adults can make simple but impactful adjustments that support healthier aging. Whether you're managing high blood pressure, blood sugar fluctuations, or bone density concerns, this information can help you use eggs more effectively as part of a senior-friendly meal plan. Eggs and processed meats, a high-sodium combination that may burden the heart. Eggs are a high-quality source of protein and essential nutrients, making them a valuable part of the diet for older adults. However, when eggs are regularly paired with processed meats such as bacon, sausage, or deli ham, this common breakfast combination may contribute to increased cardiovascular risk, particularly in individuals over the age of 60. Processed meats are known for their high content of sodium, saturated fats, and preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. These components have been closely linked to adverse health outcomes in older populations. A 2020 study, published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, found that consuming just 2 servings of processed meat per week was associated with a 46% higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease. The high sodium load from these meats can elevate blood pressure, while saturated fats may increase LDL cholesterol, both of which are key risk factors for heart disease in aging adults. The problem is further amplified by the fact that aging bodies process fat and salt less efficiently. After age 60, vascular flexibility tends to decline and kidney function may gradually weaken, making it more difficult to regulate sodium balance and blood pressure. When eggs, generally considered heart-healthy, are consumed alongside these heavily processed meats, the potential cardiovascular benefits of eggs may be negated. To reduce this risk while preserving dietary variety, seniors are encouraged to replace processed meats with lower sodium, nutrient-dense alternatives. For example, pairing eggs with avocado, lightly cooked vegetables, or unsalted legumes provides healthy fats and fiber without the added cardiovascular burden. These swaps not only improve the nutritional profile of the meal, but also help support long-term heart health. In a practical case, Linda, 72, who had a history of stage 1 hypertension, modified her breakfast routine by replacing bacon with grilled tomatoes and mushrooms. After 3 months, her blood pressure readings showed a moderate improvement, and her sodium intake had decreased by approximately 400 milligrams per day. According to her registered dietitian, while individual responses may vary, this example highlights how small, consistent changes can contribute to improved cardiovascular outcomes. It is important to emphasize that the goal is not to eliminate eggs from the diet, but rather to reconsider what they are served with. Seniors who regularly consume egg-based meals should aim for pairings that complement the nutritional value of eggs without adding excessive sodium, saturated fats, or chemical preservatives. This approach can help maintain cardiovascular function, support healthy aging, and reduce reliance on medication over time. Eggs and refined carbohydrates, a risky pairing for blood sugar control. In many typical breakfasts, eggs are accompanied by refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, pancakes, pastries, or sweetened breakfast cereals. While these combinations may seem balanced or traditional, they can create a metabolic mismatch that affects blood glucose control, especially in adults over the age of 60. As the body ages, insulin sensitivity tends to decline, and the ability to regulate blood sugar levels becomes less efficient. This makes food pairings that rapidly elevate blood glucose particularly problematic. Refined carbohydrates are digested quickly and lack significant fiber, which causes a sharp rise in blood sugar levels soon after consumption. When combined with eggs, despite their protein content, the overall glycemic impact of the meal may still be high. This is due to the fact that the refined carbohydrates dominate the postprandial response, leading to a spike in glucose followed by a rapid drop, which can leave seniors feeling fatigued or irritable. A 2018 study published in Diabetes Care examined glucose variability in older adults and found that large fluctuations in blood sugar after meals were associated with increased risk of cardiovascular events and cognitive decline. These fluctuations also contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation, which are known to accelerate aging-related conditions. In older individuals, even in the absence of diagnosed diabetes, this pattern may lead to reduced energy levels, decreased mental clarity, and long-term vascular damage. To address this issue, health professionals recommend combining eggs with complex carbohydrates that contain higher amounts of dietary fiber. Fiber slows the absorption of glucose into the bloodstream, supporting more stable blood sugar levels and sustained energy release. Examples include whole grain toast, steel-cut oats, or cooked barley. These foods, when consumed in place of refined options, reduce the glycemic load of the meal without eliminating familiar breakfast components. For instance, switching from white bread to 100% whole grain bread can increase fiber intake by up to 3 or 5 grams per slice. This change may appear small, but the cumulative effect over weeks or months can contribute to improved glucose tolerance and better metabolic balance in older adults. In one practical example, James, 68, who had recently been diagnosed with prediabetes, modified his morning routine by replacing his usual egg and toast breakfast with boiled eggs served alongside a small portion of oatmeal topped with chia seeds. After 6 weeks, his fasting glucose level decreased from 112 mg/dl to 102 mg/dl. According to follow-up lab results, while not a substitute for clinical treatment, this example highlights how diet changes, especially at breakfast, can support metabolic health in older age. In conclusion, refined carbohydrates may undermine the benefits of eggs when consumed together, particularly for those with insulin resistance or early metabolic dysfunction. Seniors are advised to focus on fiber-rich carbohydrate sources and avoid pairing eggs with low-nutrient, high-glycemic foods. This adjustment is not only simple to implement, but can have significant effects on energy levels, cognitive function, and long-term disease prevention. Eggs and high oxalate vegetables, a hidden barrier to calcium absorption. Eggs are a natural source of high-quality protein and also contain small amounts of calcium, especially when consumed with calcium-rich sides like cheese or fortified foods. However, when paired with certain vegetables that are high in oxalates, such as spinach, beet greens, or Swiss chard, the calcium in the meal may become less bioavailable. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds that bind to minerals like calcium in the digestive tract, forming insoluble complexes that the body cannot absorb efficiently. This interaction is particularly relevant for older adults. After the age of 60, the risk of osteoporosis and bone mineral density loss increases due to hormonal changes, decreased calcium absorption, and reduced vitamin D levels. Therefore, maximizing calcium intake, and more importantly, absorption, is a critical dietary priority in this age group. A publication from the National Institutes of Health (NIH) 2021 notes that diets high in oxalates can inhibit calcium absorption and, in some cases, contribute to the formation of calcium oxalate kidney stones in susceptible individuals. While occasional intake of high oxalate vegetables is not harmful for most people, consistently pairing them with calcium-containing foods like eggs and dairy can reduce the efficiency of calcium uptake over time. This may silently impair efforts to maintain bone health, especially in those with low baseline calcium intake. It is important to clarify that high oxalate vegetables are not inherently unhealthy. They are rich in micronutrients, antioxidants, and fiber. However, their interaction with calcium in the context of a meal should be taken into consideration, particularly in older adults aiming to support bone integrity. Instead of eliminating vegetables, seniors can opt for lower oxalate greens such as kale, broccoli, bok choy, and zucchini. These options still offer nutritional benefits without the same degree of calcium-binding interference. As a practical illustration, Diane, 70, who had early signs of osteopenia, made a dietary adjustment by substituting spinach omelets with eggs served alongside sautéed kale and mushrooms. After 6 months of consistent dietary changes, her follow-up bone scan indicated a slight improvement in bone mineral density. According to her physician's report, while dietary change alone may not reverse bone loss, it plays a supporting role in a comprehensive prevention plan that includes adequate calcium, vitamin D, and weight-bearing exercise. In summary, when eggs are combined with high oxalate vegetables, older adults may unintentionally reduce their ability to absorb calcium, an essential nutrient for bone health. Choosing low oxalate alternatives in daily meals is a simple and practical strategy to support calcium utilization and protect skeletal integrity. This small adjustment can contribute to long-term bone resilience and reduce the risk of age-related fractures. Eggs remain one of the most accessible and nutrient-rich foods for older adults. However, as the body changes with age, it becomes increasingly important to pay attention not just to what we eat, but to how we combine foods on our plate. When eggs are paired with processed meats, refined carbohydrates, or high oxalate vegetables, their nutritional value may be diminished, and in some cases, these combinations may contribute to long-term health risks. By making small, strategic adjustments, such as replacing bacon with avocado, swapping white bread for whole grains, or choosing low oxalate greens like kale, seniors can continue to enjoy eggs as part of a balanced, heart and bone-friendly diet. These changes do not require giving up familiar meals. Rather, they offer a more thoughtful and beneficial way to support the body's evolving nutritional needs after age 60. Maintaining good health in later life is not about restriction, but about making informed decisions. Adjusting how we combine foods is a simple yet effective strategy to improve digestion, blood sugar balance, cardiovascular function, and bone strength. It's never too late to start making choices that support healthier aging. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like to support our work. Subscribe to Radiant Health 60 for weekly insights on nutrition, mobility, and wellness for seniors. And let us know in the comments, how do you usually eat your eggs, and have you tried any of these adjustments? Your feedback helps us continue creating practical, science-based content tailored for your health journey.